Let us talk more about Apple TV+ media. Hi, my name's Drew and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now, I totally get if you're getting sick of Apple TV+, but, you know, it's what I've been spending my time with recently, so I'd like to think that if you're watching this channel, that is what you're here for. You want to hear my opinions on these things. Also, it is a reason why I'm packing it all into these review roundups, because I feel that that way we can sort of get through them a bit quicker, and also I don't want to, just drag it out even more by talking about every single item individually. I think it's fine doing a roundup. After this, I promise you there's only one more coming, and then that'll be us for quite some time. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about three things. One of them is a film, and then we've got two TV shows. First, we were talking about Shrinking, which is a shrinking in the sense, not in the sense of getting smaller, but in the sense of being a psychiatrist. That's a show that's on Apple TV+. Second, we'll talk about film Coda, which actually won the Oscar for Best Film in 2021, which focuses on a family of deaf people with one of their children being able to hear. And the third thing we're talking about is a TV show called Hijack, starring Idris Elba, which actually was on just around the summer, very, very recently. And that's about, as you can imagine, a plane being hijacked. That's the order we'll talk about them in. If you want to jump ahead to anything, although I would hope that you watch the whole video, but still, if you want to jump ahead, you can use the bar at the bottom of your screen, or you can use the timestamps in the description to do that. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. The first show we're going to talk about is Shrinking. As I said, it's about being a psychiatrist. Now, it seemed very quirky. I just saw that it's a comedy, and it's been very well received, and it sounded quite interesting. I was like, yeah, it's got Harrison Ford in it. I mean, I like Harrison Ford, so it's like, yeah, I'm on board. Why not? Stars Jason Segel, by the way, so Harrison Ford isn't the main character, but still, I was like, yeah, I'm on board. Now, I mentioned this recently in my sort of Tom Holland review thing. I really like the intros for Apple TV shows, and Shrinking is another, maybe even the best example, because I just really love the visuals presented in the intro itself, the animation style, and even the song that plays. I even bought and downloaded the title tune because it's just, it's just a really cool song. I really liked and enjoyed the voice of the singer. Yeah, so Apple TV+ when it comes to their intros, just completely spot on. Anyway, Jason Segel is the main character. His wife died recently, and he is himself a psychiatrist, together with other people, among them Harrison Ford, so they all share, their office, and he's trying to get through all this. So it's him having a very, very messy period in his life. Like I said, it's got comedy elements in it, so we get him in very, daily situations that are awkward and funny. And yeah, he's trying to work through this whole thing. And so you've got these constant interactions with Harrison Ford, who of course is sort of like, he's his mentor, he's trying to help him get through it, of course, and it's quite funny. And another main focus, I would say, is actually the daughter, Jason Segel's daughter. She's played by Luka Maxwell, and she's nearly grown up, and so she also obviously has to deal with this, but the two of them are not really doing it together, and that is an issue in this. But she also has contact, for instance, with Harrison Ford's character, and they interact, and all of it is quite funny. I mean, it's not like you're sitting there laughing from one thing to the next, but it's written so well. It's just so entertaining and fun at the same time, very heartfelt, because they're going through this real situation. What also makes interesting is these are all psychiatrists, so you think like, well, they've got the toolkit to deal with situations like that, and obviously that is brought into the mix. Just a very fun show altogether. I was like, yeah, this is another show for which I mean, I would definitely watch additional seasons when I resubscribe to Apple TV+. Really a lot of fun. Shrinking gets a really high recommendation from me, especially in this video. It's my top of the three. Second one is Coda. Now, you might be shocked. Wait a second, you just said Shrinking in front of Coda, becomes before Coda. Yes, for me, yes. Coda is not a bad film. Personally, I don't know why it beat out other films in that year. I mean, I did a review on The Power of the Dog, for instance, which for me was a better film, but doesn't mean Coda's a bad film. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It's got a lot of interesting aspects of it. It's about Coda, I didn't know this before I saw the film. It's actually an abbreviation of Child of Deaf Adult. Deaf? Did I say death? I mean deaf. Child of Deaf Adults. So that is the situation we have here. We've got a family of 4. The parents are deaf, the brother is deaf, but the sister is not, yeah? So the 2 parents have got 2 children and only one of them is actually deaf. And that is what this is about. They are fishermen. So they are on the sea and that is the job that they do. And the daughter discovers, or she knows for herself, that she enjoys singing a lot and wants to take that to a higher level, and she's got a teacher in school who really supports her. And so she struggles balancing these 2 aspects of her life. You know, she does something, is really passionate about something that her family cannot possibly understand just because by nature they're not able to experience it. And at the same time she's trying to help the family because they are struggling in their business with the fishing, because they also, and this is also an element of it, they depend of course a lot on the daughter, who in many situations has to translate, because even although they work in this business, the people around them haven't even, you know, over time taken the time to learn sign language or learn to communicate with them, which I find is very strange, because if you work with someone on a regular basis, surely you try to establish, you know, a joint means of communication. Anyway, so we've got all these struggles going on, but you also get to see the other side. The brother, for instance, he is passionate about the fishing, and he doesn't like that his sister is always in the foreground because she can speak and he can't. And you know, he wants to show that they can still do it without. So you've got all these interesting struggles and viewpoints. I like that it's not just, I mean, while the film is focused a lot on the daughter, it's still not all from her viewpoint. So I really enjoy that you see all these aspects and they all share their own experiences. And it's really heartwarming in that sense. And as you may know from watching other of my reviews, I enjoy these films and TV shows that give us insight into what kind of situations people have in their everyday life, especially if they've got disabilities, because that really helps us understand more, you know. Like when it comes to this, I mean, I did a review on The Sound of Metal, which is quite similar. Recently I talked about the Apple TV show Steve, which talks about, which is about being blind. So this, again, is a really great entry if you want to, you know, at least help you get a bit of an insight into what these people go through every day. But it's funny, it's very funny at times, I will say that. The humour is excellent, I really enjoyed it quite a lot. Makes you think about a lot of things that people don't even realise. You know, if you can't hear, you might think you're just letting out a wee fart and then it's a big fart and everyone's just looking at you and you don't even notice. You know, it's these kind of situations. It's really quite funny to think about that because you never realised before. Very heartfelt, like I say, I mean, but it's a good film, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a good film. I mean, but let's be honest, I mean, Oscars are subjective anyway, aren't they? So it really doesn't matter. It's a very good film. I still enjoyed Shrinking more just because, I mean, it's not fair, of course, you've got short time versus a show. But quality are both really good. Coda is also a high recommendation from me. So it's not like, you know, this is really, it's just a slightly better of, yeah, then watch Coda. Last here is Hijack, and this actually of the 3 is one where I was like, it's average. I'll be honest, it's I would say it's, of all the things I've seen on Apple TV+, it's still in sort of the lowest ranked, let's call it, the lowest ranks that we have here. What is it about? As I said, it's about being hijacked. It's very simple, and it's really funny. You see Idris Elba in the trailers and you're like, oh, this is going to be like Die Hard on a plane, basically. You know, he's going to save everyone on the plane and that. And it's absolutely not like that. He's being presented at the start. You're wondering what's his job, and you can see that he picks up on things happening on the plane and like, oh, something fishy here, etc. And like, oh, okay, he's going to climb in the vents. You know, again thinking of Die Hard and Bruce Willis, but. You know, you expect that kind of thing. It's like, no, he's a closer. He comes in whenever companies are being difficult, you know, and he rearranges them and gets them to agree to deals and all these kind of things. I'm like, okay, fine. And that is basically what he does. So he is trying to facilitate, to negotiate between everyone. So he's trying to get the hijackers on board with certain things that need to happen, and the passengers, and you know, all these kind of things. There's a back and forth. It's fine, it's okay, it's entertaining. It didn't exactly go in the direction I expected it to, but at the same time it was really, really weird, because what irked me most about the whole show is these hijackers, they hijack a plane and then they don't know the most basic things about flight, you know, as in control systems and how they have to communicate with the towers to not get shot down by fighter jets in other countries and territories and all these kind of things. And it's like, this is a bit silly, really. I mean, I enjoyed, so the plot, before I get to what I enjoyed, the plot is fine. Like I say, it wasn't special. It's, I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I mean, yeah, it was entertaining, definitely, but nothing to rave about. Idris Elba, though, I do enjoy really, really much. I mean, he's got these eyes, you know, when he stares at you, it's like he's looking into your soul. So yeah, I really enjoy him and everything he does. He is good in this. You know, I just hope there'd been more about him. I don't know, kicking the shit out of someone, I suppose. Why not? We had Samuel L. Jackson versus snakes. Can we have Idris Elba just against terrorists? I mean, it'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Especially after seeing him in The Suicide Squad, you can see that he can still, you know, be really, really cool in such roles. I did expect that. Anyway, it was something different, which is fine, which okay. I mean, they subverted my expectations, I suppose you could say. But at the same time, it's nothing to really write home about. So if you've got time to kill and you've got Apple TV+, watch Hijack. Otherwise, yeah, only if you're an Idris Elba fan like I am, I suppose. That'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about any of these things that I talked about, particularly the first two because I really enjoyed them. I mean, talk about Hijack as well if you want. I won't stop you. Leave a comment down below about any of that, you know. I'll definitely leave a link up here. I don't think I mentioned something in the video up till now, but I'll leave a link here, an appropriate one for anything I talked about in this video or something that's linked to it. I'll thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care, bye.